separation of the Western Bloc and the Eastern Bloc. The separation between the Eastern Bloc and the Western Bloc in the European Cold War arose because of the difference in ideology and interest between the two powers, especially after World War II, namely the United States and the Soviet Union. The world was divided into two major streams after World War II, namely as the American leader who cares the flow of investors and a liberal democracy that suppresses individual freedom and free market. On the other hand, the Soviet Union led the Eastern Bloc with the system of socialism or communism that prioritizes state control of economic and social life. This difference not only affected the bilateral relations of the two countries, but created ongoing international tension. These two powerful countries actively competed to attract other countries to join their bloc. But apart from ideology factor, geopolitical and security factors were willing to agree. The United States, with a program planned like a man's sole aim to prevent this country from falling into communist influence. On the other hand, the Soviet Union, which tried to expand communism, built satellite countries in Eastern Europe that adopted the social system as a way of life. The Soviet Union, which felt threatened, began to consolidate its control in Eastern Europe, while America said to protect its allied countries in Europe and the world from the communism threat by forming agreements such as NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization.
NATO's role in the European Cold War. This situation is of course threatening condition and at the same time alarming, which at last make countries in Western Europe in this situation will make conditions worse and worsen the state of security and stability of the European region and regional moreover. The region is potential area for both together strength if the situation is diluted. Then beginning in March 1948, Belgium, France, Luxembourg, the Netherlands, and the United Kingdom met in Brussels, were in ascendant country. The country experienced the difference in the situation then accelerated to the two power of the country and the agreement to unite to help each other in case of expansion to Europe. The sovereign body of the Brussels Trade Organization was to be a consultative council of 5 foreign ministers. The Western Defense Committee, consisting of defense ministers in September 1948, agreed to establish a military institution under the name Western Union Defense Organization. The treaty and the military institution formed illegal entity, but still requires the United States to cooperate and participate in order to ensure security in Europe when the Americans did not say that they want the United States to make offer for them to participate in taking part in the agreement. After a long debate and then replies with Resolution 200 and Treaty 9. Date June 11, 1948. Vandenberg's resolution faced by the American Senate and approved by Congress. Then the United States joined Western Europe.
C. The role of the Soviet Union in Cold War Europe. The Soviet Union played an important role in the European Cold War between the United States and the Soviet Union. First, spread of communist ideology. The Soviet Union and communist countries adopted a centralist economic system. The Soviet Union also managed to extend communist influence to several countries, for example, China 1947. After defeating the nationalists in Europe followed by Eastern European countries such as Poland, Bulgaria, and Romania adopted the communists in the same year, followed by Czechoslovakia and Hungary. These developments sparked concern on the part of the United States because the spread of communism has the potential to invite other countries to follow the ideology, let alone communist promises such as revolutionary change and anti-capitalist attitudes. Second, nuclear and space arms race. The Cold War triggered an intense arms race between the United States and the Soviet Union, especially in nuclear weapons. After atomic bombs were dropped on two cities in Japan, prompted the Soviet Union to research nuclear weapons and successfully test its first atomic bomb in 1949, marking the start of the nuclear arms race, marked by the United States developing a hydrogen bomb in 1952, followed by the Soviet Union, until the peak development of intercontinental ballistic missiles (ICBM) by both countries. Third, involvement in international crises. The Soviet Union built a ballistic missile base in Cuba, which came under strong criticism from the United States. This tension has led both countries to increase their vigilance and prepare to launch. As a result of this tension caused the worst humanitarian crisis after World War II, due to the blockade by the Soviet Union, which was carried out for 1 year only. 2 years later, the Soviet Union built a parapet in Berlin and divided Germany into two. Fourth, formation of military alliances. After the creation of NATO in 1949, the Soviet Union responded by forming the Warsaw Pact in 1955. This pact was a defense alliance made up from the Eastern Bloc or communist countries in Eastern Europe.